Tonight on Husky Update, Northeastern men's hockey takes on University of New Hampshire in the first round of the Hockey East playoffs, coming away with a 7-3 win. Plus tonight, News Does Reviews heads to Somerville to check out Kong Dog, the Korean street food spot known for its creative corn dogs. And still ahead, quick updates on the war in Iran and the demolition of Matthews Arena, plus lots more. The stories that matter most, on campus and beyond. Husky Update starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Saloni Bhatia.
And I'm Callie Colvin.
And welcome to the Husky Update, your source for broadcast coverage here at Northeastern and around the world. Thank you for joining us this evening.
We begin tonight with the war in the Middle East. Thousands of people have died as a result of the conflict.
And the war is impacting us here at home as well. NUTV's Andrew Longo is live in studio, now breaking down the war for us. Andrew?
Yeah, Saloni, Callie, today marks 2 weeks since the U.S. and Israel launched missile attacks into Iran, sparking a conflict that has now ignited the Middle East, with Iran launching counterattacks on many U.S. allies across the region. And the death toll from this conflict also continues to climb. In addition to Iran's former supreme leader, whom Israel took credit for assassinating last week, countless Iranians and now 12 U.S. service members are confirmed to be dead, with a U.S. military aircraft going down in western Iraq just this morning, killing 6 American service personnel. And impacts of what news organizations are calling the war in Iran are now reaching the global market, with the price of crude oil skyrocketing. Reduced oil production in the Middle East and limited movement in the Strait of Hormuz have led the international community to release reserve oil into the market this week to avoid a crisis, as President Trump vowed this morning to press on with attacks inside of Iran. Callie, Saloni?
Thanks, Andrew. Travelers at airports across the country are being greeted with long security lines as ongoing staffing shortages at TSA get worse. 50,000 TSA officers have been working without pay since February 14th, when Congress let the funding for Department of Homeland Security run out. Lines at airports such as New Orleans International Airport and Houston Hobby Airport stretched into parking garages. TSA PreCheck was closed across the country for a short time last month. TSA workers will miss their first paycheck today.
This comes after President Trump fired Kristi Noem from her position as Defense Secretary. Her firing followed a $220 million taxpayer-funded ad campaign with Noem on horseback. She says that the president approved of this commercial. The president denies those claims. President Trump says Noem will move to a special role for a security initiative focused on the Western Hemisphere. President Trump selected Oklahoma Senator Mark Wade Mullen as the new secretary. The AI firm Anthropic is filing a countersuit against the United States government over claims of it being a supply chain risk, making it the first company to be labeled as such. The lawsuit comes after the U.S. pulled out an exclusive contract when Anthropic refused to allow unregulated use of its software. White House spokeswoman Liz Hudson said Anthropic was a radical left woke company in a statement to the BBC. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth demanded that the company remove restrictions on legal autonomous warfare and surveillance of American citizens, to which they refused. The government initially filed a suit against Anthropic in 2024. The decision is now in the hands of the California Federal Court.
Serious questions are swirling about whether Boston's World Cup preparations are on track with less than 100 days until the first match. The Boston Soccer 2026 host committee says it needs $170 million to stage the tournament. However, it presently only has $2 million. The situation came to a head in Foxborough, where town officials threatened to withhold stadium permits over a nearly $8 million security funding gap. However, Foxborough and the host committee have reached an understanding that would allow the stadium license to move forward with deep uncertainty surrounding this issue. Many are asking if Boston will be truly ready to host FIFA's most awaited event. NUTV's Cassandra Joyce is now here with a sports update. Cassandra?
Women's basketball ended its season in heartbreaking fashion March 11th with a 51-50 loss to the UNCW Seahawks in the first round of the CAA championship. Sophomore guard Morgan Matthews led the team in scoring with 15 points, as Northeastern's usual top scorers were shut down by the Seahawks defense. Sophomore guard Cameron Collins ended this season as the team's leader in points, and sophomore forward Justice Tramble led in rebounds. Men's basketball had an upset win in the first round of the CAA tournament over the North Carolina A&T Aggies 88-72 March 6th for the team's first win since January 15th. Unfortunately, the next day the Huskies fell to the Drexel Dragons 84-77 to end the season. Freshman guard Xavier Abreu led the team in points with 364, and senior forward Yuri Fritz led in rebounds with 135. Northeastern men's hockey took on the University of New Hampshire Wildcats in the first round of Hockey East playoffs March 11th at the Conti Forum. Sports correspondent Julia Hurley and I were there to give you the scoop on the Huskies' big game.
Northeastern's game against New Hampshire was nothing short of exciting as the Huskies put on a show for the Doghouse fans. With high tension, scoring, and energy, it was an eventful night at the Conte Forum. Jacob Matu and Amin Hajibi both tallied 3 points for the Huskies, and Lawton Zacher had 24 saves. In the first period, it only took 2 minutes for Northeastern to get on the board.
Jacob Matsu scored his 10th goal of the season, assisted by Dylan Compton and Amin Hajibi.
A minute later, Griffin Erdman was sent to the penalty box for hooking, but the rest of the period stayed penalty and goal-free. With 3 minutes to go, Matu knocked the puck off the pipe to the cheers of the Doghouse and the sound of the horn, but it was ruled no goal.
Northeastern takes a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period, despite UNH outshooting them 7-3.
A minute into the second period, UNH's Morgan Winters was called for interference, sending Northeastern on the power play. Unfortunately, it would be UNH who struck next.
After UNH scored a shorthanded goal, Northeastern challenged the call, alleging goaltender interference. However, the refs ruled it a good goal, putting Northeastern and UNH even at 1-1.
5 minutes later, Northeastern found the back of the net once again to regain the lead.
Tyler Fukakusa scored his third goal of the season, assisted by Dylan Ritzkovian and Giacomo Martino to put the Huskies up 2-1 in the second period.
Less than 3 minutes later, the Huskies fired off another one.
On the assist from Matthew Perkins and Joe Connor, Amin Hajibi scored to put the Huskies up 3-1.
2 minutes later, UNH cut the lead to 1 off a goal by Cam McDonald. With 4 minutes to go, UNH's Brendan Fitzgerald was called for interference and sent Northeastern on its second power play of the night. This time, they took advantage of the extra player and increased their lead to 2. The high-scoring second period didn't stop there, as in the last 30 seconds, Dylan Compton scored his 4th goal of the season.
The second period was full of action as Northeastern jumps out to a 5-2 lead. The Huskies outshot the Wildcats 18-14 on goal, and additional goals were scored by Cam McDonald for UNH and Joe Connor and Dylan Compton for Northeastern.
After Compton was called for tripping, UNH scored what would be the team's last goal of the season.
UNH scored on the power play, making the score 5-3 near the middle of the third period.
Noah Jones was sent to the sin bin for cross-checking with 4.5 minutes to go to send UNH on another power play. In an effort to bring the score closer, the Wildcats pulled their goalie. However, Matthew Perkins snatched the puck from a Wildcat and sent it down the ice into the net to increase Northeastern's lead to 6-3. 40 seconds later, Jones scored an empty netter of his own to increase the Huskies' lead to 7-3 and notch his second collegiate goal. Tensions were high almost the entire game between the two teams, but it came to a peak with less than a minute to go as Northeastern's Griffin Erdman and UNH's Nick DeAngelis swung at each other. They both took penalties for roughing and misconduct, with DeAngelis taking an additional one for cross-checking.
Northeastern takes a 7-3 win over UNH to advance in Hockey East playoffs, despite being outshot 27-24 on goal. Tensions were high in the game, but the Huskies pulled out the win. The Huskies will face off against UMass in the Hockey East quarterfinals tomorrow at 4 p.m. Women's hockey also has a big game this weekend in the NCAA tournament against the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers in Minneapolis. The Huskies are coming off a devastating double overtime loss to UConn in the Hockey East championship game, but hope to turn things around tomorrow at 3 p.m. Northeastern baseball beat Stony Brook in 2 of 3 games last weekend before beating Central Connecticut State University 18-10 on Wednesday. Earlier today, the team beat the Towson Tigers 6-3. The Huskies are back in action at home tomorrow and Sunday at 1 p.m. at Friedman Diamond. Be sure to cheer on the Huskies in all upcoming matchups.
The destruction of Northeastern University's Matthew Arena has recently started, as the crews of Suffolk Construction meticulously take apart the 115-year-old building. The storied athletic arena first opened its doors back in 1910 and was the original home of the Boston Bruins and Celtics. The demolition is expected to continue through April. In its place, Northeastern plans to open a new multi-purpose athletic complex set to debut in the fall of 2028. Many students, alumni, and fans alike are feeling the nostalgic as the dismantling of America's oldest indoor hockey venue marks the end of an era, making way for the future of Northeastern sports.
And following the demolition, CUP has announced the venue for Springfest 2026. This concert will take place at Roadrunner Boston in Allston. CUP says shuttle buses will be provided, and the Springfest headliner will be announced soon. The concert is just 3 Saturdays away.
The 98th Academy Awards are set for this Sunday night in Hollywood, highlighting the top films of 2025. This year, there are 10 Best Picture nominees, including F1, The Secret Agent, Hugonia, Ari Supreme, Train Dreams, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Sinners, and Sentimental Values. Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another and Ryan Coogler's Sinners are looking to be the top contenders for the award. The Oscars are also seeing some firsts this year with the new category of Best Achievement in Casting. And, for the first time ever, voting members of the Academy are required to watch all nominated films. This comes after a backlash of a decade-long honor system only recommending the members to watch the nominees. Some other categories to look out for are Best Actor, with a tight race between Timothée Chalamet and Michael B. Jordan, and for the Best Award for Best Supporting Actress. You can watch the Oscars this weekend on ABC, Hulu, or YouTube TV at 7 p.m. Eastern. Callie, any thoughts on the nominees?
Yeah, well, Saloni, I thought Marty Supreme had slightly less ping pong than anticipated, but I'm wishing all the nominees a very lucky St. Patrick's Day. I wish I had one of those Marty Supreme jackets right now. They're extremely trendy. And also trending are Korean corn dogs, which have taken the internet by storm. NUTV correspondents Cassandra Joyce and Julia Hurley traverse across Somerville for our newest edition of News Does Reviews, where they investigate this corn dog craze.
Today we are hitting the streets of Somerville to try Kong Dog, an innovative corn dog and boba restaurant located right in Davis Square. The menu gives a variety of options from noodles to Fruity Pebble corn dogs, among other unique items. The interior features markers and blank walls sprinkled throughout for guests to leave their mark on the building.
So I just tried, this is mango green tea with boba. It tastes good, but it has no sugar in it, which is okay, but I wish it had sugar. I got the Doritos sweet chili dog. So here we go. It's certainly not the cleanest thing I've ever eaten, but it does taste really good. I'm covered in Doritos and I've only taken 2 bites. But I think that adds to the experience. They also don't give you napkins in the bag, which I'm learning now. But I like it. I think it tastes really good. There I say 5 out of 5.
Got a mango lemonade with strawberry popping boba. That's really good. And the lemonade isn't like super sweet, like it's still got some like tartness to it, which is nice. I like lemonade like that. And the boba is fun. I would say like 4 out of 5 Huskies probably. I got the potato Korean corn dog. So it's just like potato coating and then just like a hot dog. This is insane. I got like soy garlic sauce with it, but I feel like I need to try it just like by itself first. Maybe we'll get like a crunch. Okay, that first bite was all potato, there was no sausage in it. But it kind of just like tastes like a french fry on the outside, which you would expect because it's potato. It's good. I mean, I didn't expect it to be bad, but yeah, I enjoy it. I'd probably say like 4 out of 5 Huskies. The crunchiness like definitely adds to it, and like I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like doughy, like in the middle, which I think is fun. Yeah, pretty good I would say.
Overall, we give Kong Dog 3.75 and 3.9 Huskies out of 5. Cassandra Joyce and Julia Hurley, NUTV News.
We end tonight with St. Patrick's Day. This Sunday, Boston will host its annual St. Patrick's Parade and celebration. 22 streets will be closed. The parade starts at 11:30 a.m. at Broadway Station and ends at Andrews Square. The MBTA Red Line will run rush hour service between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Sunday, and the commuter rail will have additional cars to accommodate for increased riders. The police have sent community alerts discouraging any public drinking and encouraging people to only accept drinks directly from bartenders to avoid anything being slipped into their drinks.
That's the news. The rest is up to you. Be sure to follow our Instagram page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with us. You can find tonight's full stories at northeasterntv.com/news. I'm Callie.
And I'm Saloni. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again for the next Husky update on Friday, March 27th. Have a great night.